Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to share with you the mindset, the grind, and the relentless pursuit of greatness that defined my career and life. Success, it is given, it's earned. It's not about talent, it's about obsession, discipline, and an unyielding desire to be the best version of yourself. Here are 10 tips to success, delivered in the Mamba Mentality style. Let's get into it. Success isn't about the destination, it's about the journey. I didn't wake up every day thinking about championships. I woke up thinking about getting better. The grind, the sweat, the early mornings and the late nights, that's where greatness is born. If you don't love the process, you'll never last long enough to see the results. Embrace the work. Fall in love with it. When I was a kid, I didn't dream of holding trophies or hearing crowds cheer my name. I dreamed of perfecting my craft. I would spend hours in the gym working on my footwork, my shot, my defense. I didn't do it because I had to, I did it because I loved it. The process became my sanctuary. It's where I found peace, where I could block out the noise and focus on what truly mattered, improvement. You see, success isn't a one-time event. It's a series of small, consistent actions that compound over time. If you only focus on the end goal, you'll burn out before you get there. But if you fall in love with the daily grind, if you find joy in the struggle, then success becomes inevitable. It's not a question of if, but when. For example, during the 2008 NBA Finals, we lost to the Boston Celtics. It was devastating, but I didn't dwell on the loss. Instead, I spent the entire offseason working on my weaknesses. I studied film, improved my footwork, and added new moves to my arsenal. The result? We won back-to-back championships in 2009 and 2010. The process of improvement never stops, and that's what makes it beautiful. Motivation is temporary. Obsession is forever. I wasn't just motivated to be great, I was obsessed. Obsession is what keeps you going when everyone else quits. It's what drives you to shoot 1,000 jumpers after practice, to study film at 3 a.m., to push your body and mind beyond their limits. Motivation is like a spark. It can ignite a fire, but it won't keep it burning. Obsession, on the other hand, is the fuel that keeps the fire alive. It's what makes you wake up at 4 a.m. when the world is still asleep. It's what makes you sacrifice parties, vacations, and even relationships for your craft. Obsession is what separates the good from the great. I was obsessed with being the best. I studied my opponents, analyzed their weaknesses, and worked tirelessly to exploit them. I didn't just want to win, I wanted to dominate. And that level of obsession requires a single-minded focus that most people aren't willing to commit to. But if you want to be great, you have to be willing to go all in. For instance, during the 2012 London Olympics, I didn't just show up to play. I spent months studying international basketball, analyzing the tendencies of players like Manu Ginobili and Pau Gasol. I wanted to know their every move, their every weakness. That obsession paid off. We won the gold medal, and I was named to the all-tournament team. So failure isn't the opposite of success, it's a part of it. I missed game-winning shots, lost championships, and faced countless setbacks throughout my career, but every failure taught me something. Every loss made me better. I didn't fear failure, I embraced it. When you fail, you have two choices. You can let it break you, or you can let it build you. I chose the latter. I used every failure as fuel to improve. I studied my mistakes, corrected them, and came back stronger. Failure is at the end, it's just another step on the path to greatness. For example, in the 2004 NBA Finals, we lost to the Detroit Pistons. It was a humbling experience, but it taught me the importance of teamwork and humility. I realized that I couldn't do it all on my own. I had to trust my teammates and elevate their game. That lesson helped me grow as a leader and ultimately led to our success in the following years. Talent is overrated. Hard work is what separates the best from the rest. I didn't rely on my natural abilities. I outworked everyone. While others were sleeping, I was in the gym. While others were celebrating, I was preparing for the next challenge. I followed the 666 workout regimen, 6 days a week, 6 hours a day, 6 months a year. I would start with conditioning, then move on to skill work, and finish with strength training. I didn't take shortcuts and I didn't make excuses. I put in the work day in and day out because I knew that's what it took to be the best. For example, during the 2006 offseason, I worked on my post-up game relentlessly. I knew that if I could dominate in the post, I would be unstoppable. That offseason, I spent countless hours working with Hakeem Olajuwon, one of the greatest post players of all time. The result? I averaged 35.4 points per game that season, including an 81-point game against the Toronto Raptors, the second highest scoring game in NBA history. Greatness is built on a foundation of fundamentals. I didn't rely on flashy moves or highlight reel plays. I focused on mastering the basics: footwork, shooting form, defensive positioning. These are the building blocks of success. Without a strong foundation, everything else crumbles. For example, I spent hours working on my footwork. Whether it was the pivot foot on a fadeaway jumper or the defensive slide to stay in front of my man, I made sure every movement was precise and deliberate. This attention to detail allowed me to execute under pressure and dominate in high-stakes situations. I remember one offseason where I spent weeks just working on my triple threat position, the stance you take when you catch the ball and can either shoot, pass, or dribble. It sounds simple, but it's the foundation of every offensive move. I wanted to make sure that no matter how a defender played me, I could react instinctively and make the right decision. That's the power of fundamentals. They give you confidence and control. Even at the peak of my career, I never stopped practicing the basics. Before every game, I would go through a meticulous warm-up routine, 300 made shots, focusing on form and consistency. It wasn't glamorous, but it was necessary. The fundamentals are what separate the good from the great. If you can't do the little things right, you'll never be able to do the big things consistently. Success isn't just about physical ability, it's about mental preparation. I studied the game like a scientist. I watched film, analyzed opponents, and learned from the greats who came before me. I wanted to understand every nuance of the game so I could exploit every advantage. For example, I studied Michael Jordan's game extensively. I wanted to understand how he moved, how he read defenses, and how he elevated his game in clutch moments. I didn't just want to imitate him, I wanted to surpass him. That's the mindset of a true competitor. I would watch his games on VHS tapes, pausing and rewinding to break down his footwork, his body language, and his decision making. Then, I'd go to the gym and try to replicate it. But I didn't stop at Jordan. I studied Magic Johnson's passing, Hakeem Olajuwon's footwork, and even soccer players like Lionel Messi to understand movement and spacing. I wanted to absorb knowledge from every source possible. This wasn't just about basketball. It was about understanding the art of competition. And during the 2008 Olympics, I spent hours studying international players. I wanted to know their tendencies, their strengths, and their weaknesses. That preparation allowed me to shut down some of the best players in the world and help Team USA win the gold medal. If you want to be great, you have to be a student of your craft. Never stop learning. Fear is the enemy of greatness. I didn't play scared. I played with confidence and aggression. I wasn't afraid to take the big shot, to make the tough pass, or to face the toughest opponent. I embraced challenges and thrived under pressure. For example, in Game 7 of the 2010 NBA Finals, I shot 6-4-24 from the field. It was one of the worst shooting performances of my career, but I didn't let that stop me. I kept attacking, kept believing in myself, and ultimately helped my team win the championship. Fearlessness isn't about being perfect. It's about being relentless. I remember a game against the Portland Trail Blazers in 2004 where I hit 2 game-winning shots in a row, one to send the game to overtime and another to win it. I didn't hesitate even after missing my first few attempts. That's the mindset you have to have. No matter how many times you fail, you keep going. You trust your preparation, your instincts, and your ability to rise to the occasion. Fearlessness also means stepping up when it matters most. In the 2008 Olympics gold medal game against Spain, I hit a crucial 4-point play in the 4th quarter to seal the victory. I didn't overthink it. I just trusted my training and let my instincts take over. That's what it means to be fearless, to embrace the moment and deliver when it counts. Leadership isn't about words, it's about actions. I didn't just talk about hard work and dedication, I lived it. I showed up early, stayed late, and gave everything I had every single day. My teammates saw that and it inspired them to raise their game. For example, during the 2008 Olympics, I took on the role of defensive stopper. I didn't care about scoring, I wanted to set the tone for the team. I guarded the best player on the opposing team every game, and my teammates followed my lead. That's what true leadership looks like. It's about doing the dirty work and setting the standard for everyone else. I also made it a point to mentor younger players. When I was a rookie, veterans like Byron Scott and Eddie Jones took me under their wing and showed me the ropes. I wanted to pay that forward. Players like Andrew Bynum and Jordan Farmar benefited from my guidance, and I took pride in helping them grow. Leadership isn't just about leading in the moment, it's about building a legacy that lasts. Complacency is the enemy of greatness. I never rested on my laurels or took success for granted. I always stayed hungry, always looked for ways to improve, and always pushed myself to new heights. For example, after winning 3 championships in a row, I didn't relax, I worked even harder, knowing that the competition would only get tougher. That hunger and drive allowed me to win 2 more championships and cement my legacy as one of the greatest players of all time. I remember after losing the 2008 finals, I spent the entire offseason working on my weaknesses. I added new moves to my game, improved my conditioning, and studied film relentlessly. That hunger to improve is what fueled my comeback and led to back-to-back championships in 2009 and 2010. Success isn't a destination, it's a journey, and if you stop moving forward, you'll get left behind. Success isn't just about what you achieve, it's about what you leave behind. I didn't just want to be a great player, I wanted to inspire the next generation. I wanted to show them that with hard work, dedication, and an unwavering belief in yourself, anything is possible. For example, after retiring, I focused on mentoring young players and sharing my knowledge of the game. I wanted to help them reach their full potential and carry on the Mamba Mentality. That's the legacy I want to leave, a legacy of excellence, perseverance, and inspiration. I also ventured into storytelling, winning an Oscar for my short film, Dear Basketball. It was a way to show that greatness isn't confined to one arena. You can achieve anything if you're willing to put in the work and believe in yourself. That's the message I want to leave for the next generation. Greatness is within your reach, but you have to be willing to chase it. Pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. I played through injuries, setbacks, and moments of doubt, but I never let pain stop me. Instead, I use it as a teacher. Pain teaches you resilience, discipline, and the ability to push beyond your limits. For example, in 2013, I tore my Achilles tendon during a game. It was one of the most painful moments of my career, but I didn't let it break me. I used that experience to learn about my body, my mind, and my capacity to endure. I came back stronger, not just physically, but mentally. Pain is a part of the journey. Embrace it, learn from it, and let it make you stronger. Greatness doesn't come to those who wait, it comes to those who chase it relentlessly. I never settled for good enough. I always pushed for more wins, more championships, more improvement. Relentlessness is what separates the great from the legendary. For example, after winning 3 championships with Shaquille O'Neal, I didn't rest on my laurels. I wanted to prove that I could win without him. That relentless pursuit led to 2 more championships in 2009 and 2010. If you want to be great, you have to be willing to chase it with everything you've got. Confidence comes from preparation. I never stepped onto the court doubting myself because I knew I had put in the work. Preparation breeds confidence, and confidence breeds success. For example, before every game, I would visualize every possible scenario, the game-winning shot, the defensive stop, the crucial pass. I prepared for every situation so that when the moment came, I was ready. Trust your preparation and you'll never have to doubt yourself. The game is always evolving, and so must you. I didn't stick to one style of play, I adapted my game as I got older. Early in my career, I relied on my athleticism, Later, I developed my post-up game and became a more cerebral player. For example, after my Achilles injury, I knew I couldn't rely on my explosiveness anymore. So I worked on my footwork, my shooting, and my basketball IQ. Adaptability is key to longevity and success. Be willing to change and grow with the times. You become the average of the people you surround yourself with. I always sought out the best, whether it was teammates, coaches, or mentors. I wanted to be around people who pushed me to be better. For example, I learned from legends like Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, and Hakeem Olajuwon. I also pushed my teammates to be their best, whether it was Shaquille O'Neal, Pau Gasol, or Derek Fisher. Surround yourself with people who challenge you, inspire you, and elevate your game. Curiosity is the fuel of growth. I was always asking questions, always seeking to learn more. Whether it was about basketball, business, or life, I wanted to understand how things worked and how I could improve. For example, after retiring, I dove into storytelling and won an Oscar for Dear Basketball. I didn't know anything about filmmaking, but I was curious and willing to learn. Stay curious and you'll never stop growing. Success is the result of daily habits. I had a strict routine. Early mornings, intense workouts, film study, and recovery. I didn't leave anything to chance. Discipline is what turns potential into greatness. For example, I followed the 666 workout regimen, 6 days a week, 6 hours a day, 6 months a year. It wasn't easy, but it was necessary. Develop disciplined habits and success will follow. Success isn't about instant gratification, it's about long-term growth. I didn't chase quick wins or shortcuts. I focused on building a legacy that would stand the test of time. For example, I spent years perfecting my footwork and basketball IQ. It didn't pay off immediately, but it made me a better player in the long run. Play the long game and you'll achieve lasting success. I didn't play basketball to participate, I played to compete. I wanted to win every game, every drill, every moment. That competitive fire is what drives greatness. For example, I would challenge my teammates in practice, whether it was a shooting contest or a defensive drill. I wanted to win, even in practice. Be a competitor in everything you do, and you'll always find a way to rise to the top. Greatness isn't just about what you achieve, it's about how you inspire others. I wanted to leave a legacy that would inspire the next generation to chase their dreams. For example, I mentor young players like Giannis Antetokounmpo and Jason Tatum, sharing my knowledge and passion for the game. I also use my platform to inspire people off the court through storytelling and philanthropy. Inspire others and your legacy will live on forever. Success is a combination of mindset, habits, and relentless pursuit. If you embrace these principles and live by the Mamba mentality, there's no limit to what you can achieve. Now go out there and make it happen. Mamba out.